Today it's time to check in with Ethereum, more specifically the blockchain's coin ETH, and perform some technical analysis on it. In doing so, we'll make some price predictions on where we can expect to see ETH go within the next few days, weeks and months. Let's get into it. How's it going, guys? Ryan here and welcome back to another crypto video. We're taking a look at Ethereum's ETH coin today. We're going to be performing our usual technical analysis using some various indicators in order to determine the direction of the price in the near future. But before we get into that, guys, please remember to give this video a thumbs up if you do enjoy it. And if you want to see more of this sort of content, hit subscribe and turn on bell notifications. We cover crypto, stocks, wealth management, and investing in general. I'd also love to know your thoughts on Ethereum down in the comments section below and where you think ETH is going in the near future. But without any further ado, let's jump straight into the computer and start today's analysis. Welcome into CoinSpot, guys. If you're looking to buy ETH or any other cryptocurrencies, there is a link down in the description of today's video where you can sign up and start buying now. But now let's take a look at the ETH chart, and as you can see, we're sitting currently in Australian dollars at $4,413.79 right now. Just zooming out on the hourly, you can see that we've been trading sideways for a period of time now, but overall we have been going up in the longer term, so that's pretty good. But we'll go to the daily. Now, as you can see, basically not much has happened since our last video, and our last video, just for reference, was on the 16th, which is right here. Whilst yes, we did manage to actually peak a bit higher, a peak of, as of recent, $4,828 roughly. We have now dropped from that point, but overall we're still sitting in a really good position, and effectively the price is basically exact same as when we last took a look at the coin. Now, what's changed though from a technical perspective? Well, obviously there hasn't been really any changes when it comes to your key points of support and resistance. No surprises there really. We can just chuck in our key support point here, which is quite obvious, which basically sits in, that $4,237 mark roughly. Not too bad. And now we can also put in another point for our key resistance, which in my opinion we did break. This point was broken. It's 4,640 roughly, or 4,655, sorry. We did break it, but we couldn't hold it. You can see that there was a real test to try and get above it, but unfortunately it failed and we moved back into this trading zone. So not too bad. We're consolidating. Everything's cooling off a bit. The key reason, in my opinion, why we didn't see a breakout here, even though we saw a massive green candle on this day, for instance, the volume simply was not there. People were buying other cryptocurrencies instead, and not really much focus was on ETH. So that's, in my opinion, why we didn't break out. But overall, not looking too shabby. If we do put our trend line back in, you'll notice though, we have unfortunately broken. Now, what does that mean for us? Well, it means that maybe this short-term uptrend we're seeing has failed. You can see on the day it broke, obviously there was a bit of a bigger dip and we started moving in this direction back towards our main point of support. Now, what does this mean for us? Well, in my opinion, I think what is going to happen now with this crypto is we're going to start trading, in this sort of a manner for a while, sideways once again. And on the hourly, that's obviously very, very apparent. You can see that we're trading sideways. We have been for a few weeks now. All good, no stress there. It is perfect to set us up for our next run, and our next run is going to be testing these all-time highs, so we really want a solid base in order to do so. Now, what would the price target be for me? Well, actually my price target is not a price target of moving upwards. Today it's moving downwards. I want to see this point of support touched once again. We're moving towards it, as you can see, but I want to see $4,228 roughly. I want to see that touched. And I want to see the support hold up, and I want to see a bounce back towards our resistance point of 4,650. That will really show that we have some strength lying within this support point. I really do think we do, just purely given the amount of price action that's occurred there. But it will also help us consolidate in a sideways direction. So all in all, not too bad. Let's bring in some of our moving averages and whatnot as well now, just to get a better vibe of exactly how we are feeling from this perspective as well. So let's just put in the 20-day moving average as our first one. We'll put in the 50-day moving average as our medium term, and of course our 200-day as our longer term moving average. Now, as you can see, we've dropped below the 20-day. That's fine, that is not a major issue. What is interesting though is this 50 days moving up. And it's not moving up sharply, it's moving up sort of slow and I suppose in a more reserved manner. And I think what we're going to see is this is going to move up, and this is going to help us act as a support layer in this realm. So obviously it's lower right now just due to the fact that we had tons of price action at the bottom here, and now we're moving up. But I think we're going to see this 50-day moving average start to obviously creep up and then level out a bit. Once that occurs, what we don't want to see is this 20-day cross below it, or basically we don't want to see any of the price action cross below that point in this sort of a manner, because that will indicate there is a potential reversal in the trend. At this point in time, the 200-day moving average is relatively irrelevant, so we can just let that sit and ignore it for now. But let's remove these ones now, and let's also chuck in some other indicators. So the first of which would be an MACD. Let's look at the direction. And as you can see, when the cross occurred, that is sort of when we started moving sideways and a bit downwards as well, obviously. And that was on the 16th. That was the day we last took a look at Ethereum. And obviously, as a result of the cross occurring, we have seen a reduction in price action. Now, what is interesting is even since that point though, we have seen higher prices. That shows that most of the volume going through is actually buying volume, and there's not much selling pressure going on, which is overall pretty good. Looks like people are slowly accumulating or something of that sort of manner. This cooling off will be relatively good as well. One other one that we can have a look at is the relative strength index, and that will effectively show us where we are from a buying power perspective. So we've got the RSI sitting currently at about 55.8, and that has cooled off since we were in the overbought stages back here. That was expected, and of course with downwards or sideways price action, you would expect that to cool off. So overall, looking relatively good. I'd like to see this move towards 50, sitting at the middle point. I don't want to see it move towards the oversold point, because obviously that will probably lead to these key support points being broken. So we don't really want to see that. We just want to see it level out nice and evenly. But overall, I think we're looking good for a consolidation period of maybe a few weeks or a month potentially, but I don't think we're going to see massive drops or massive gains within the short term. We're just going to see up and down price action until I suppose the overall market heats up a bit more. But overall, relatively good. Price target, this support point at 4,228. We want to see it hold up, and then we want to go for the next target, being that resistance point up here at 4,650. That wraps up today's video, guys. I hope you did enjoy it. Let me know your thoughts down in the comments section below on where you think ETH is going. Do you agree with me? Do you think it's going to trend sideways for a bit, or do you think it's going to break upwards or downwards? Let us know down in the comments section below. But of course, if you did enjoy today's video, remember to leave a like and subscribe if you want to see more of this sort of content. We cover crypto, investing, stocks, and wealth management. But I'm going to leave it there, guys. I hope you have an awesome day. I'll see you next time. Cheers.